Friends, at a time when global markets are clearly shaken, it is quite fitting that we talk about investing abroad. Developing our understanding of how we can invest abroad can be greatly helpful for us to use opportunities when they present themselves before us. The Government of India allows every Indian citizen, including minors, to invest $250,000 every year, which means a family of 4 can take out $1 million in a single year. What do you do with this money outside India? You could use this money for education, for medical expenses, for investing in stocks and in debt instruments, to open a foreign currency bank account, to acquire property, to start a company abroad and give it equity capital, and to lend to your relatives or friends who may be in another country. It was at one time unthinkable to invest outside India, but several years ago we have been allowed to do it, and it is legitimate, and we can, with the complete knowledge of the government, invest outside India. As the markets see a lot of global tumult, it could be an interesting time to think if we would like to invest in some areas outside India, especially in the stock market. These are probably extraordinary times when we could possibly get some extraordinary companies at valuations which are attractive. You may wonder that, is this scheme, the Liberalized Remittance scheme or LRS, meant only for the rich and privileged? Can only the rich and privileged invest outside India? The answer is that there are other options also in which retail investors in India can invest outside India, and these options are provided by the Global Fund of Funds and the ETFs which are now available in India. And interestingly, the minimum is quite small, even a few thousands can be invested, and there is no ceiling on how much money you can invest in these global funds, which means being a resident of India, you can invest any amount of money in these products. This is a wonderful opportunity for Indians, citizens of India, to invest outside India, and the options are, as I told you, plenty. You could buy a property, you could spend the money on education, you could lend money outside India, you could start a bank account, you could invest in equities of companies, you could start a business, you could even buy art outside India, you could do several things. The opportunity should be used correctly when the valuation of assets outside are in favor and you see that those assets present better growth opportunities to you. One other area where this LRS can be used is in subscribing to employee stock options of companies you work for which are listed outside India. And that's again a very, very important way in which you can invest outside India. Given the wide array of options and the adequacy of the amount you can invest every year, every Indian should consider whether this option is useful to him, it is relevant to his future financial needs and to his future needs in terms of education, health and other aspects, whether he would need to go outside to receive any of them, whether he would like to be a global tourist and spend money outside India on seeing the world, and then accordingly fashion how much money he would like to invest outside India. As the markets see blood on the street, it is possibly a time for us also to consider whether it makes sense to invest outside India. Happy investing and keep watching our channel.